Is that a scar? Is that recent?
Beyond is a story of a young woman called Jodie Holmes, and Jodie is gifted. She has a link with an invisible entity. She calls him Aiden. She doesn't know why, it's just a name that came to her mind when she was a little kid. And this presence is always around her. They are tied together in a way, they cannot separate. And it's the story of this young woman with this power, and through 15 years of her life. So we'll see Jodie Holmes being this young little kid, then becoming a teenager, then becoming an adult, and we will see how she grows, how she learns, how she evolves, how she learns how to live with this thing that is not just a pet or a power, it's actually a character with its own personality. And Aiden can be very nice and protective, or it can become very jealous, or very possessive, or very even violent.
Go for it, Aiden.
First of all, we learned that people had interest for what we were doing, which was very interesting news. We also discovered that all this idea of telling a story through interactivity was something that was appealing for many people. You maybe saw the figures. I mean, in general, 25% of the people finish the game they start, but in the case of Heavy Rain, it was 75%. So that's a big thing for us. So we just wanted to come back with Beyond with something that would be better pretty much in all areas, come back with better visuals, better animations, better acting, better story, and find other ways of blending interactivity and narrative, something different that we did on Heavy Rain.
Ma'am, do you hear me? Do you understand me?
Well, there are many big changes on Beyond compared on Heavy Rain regarding controls. I mean, the first one is that we came back for the human character, Jodie Holmes, to a more standard control system with a stick. But now you can control Jodie Holmes, the human character, but at the same time you can control the entity, and you can switch freely between one and the other pretty much at any point in the game. And with the entity, you control the entity by playing with a 6-axis motion sensor with a controller to give you really the feeling of floating in the air. So with the entity, you're invisible, you float in the air, you can go through walls, you can do many different things that only entities can do. We also worked very hard on having much more direct controls, so you're always in control of Jodie when you're with her, or of the entity. So there's nothing like cutscenes or anything, it's really always direct control.
I found you by the side of the road, in the middle of nowhere. Was there an accident?
In the game, 95% of the time, you decide when you want to switch between one and the other, and there are a couple of moments where it's the script deciding for you. But it's like, for example, when the scene starts, we thought in the train, we thought that starting with the entity was more interesting as Jodie's sleeping. But we make this kind of choices, it's more about the narrative than about anything else.
What about as far as him being able to possess other people? It seems like some you can, some you can't. Will the final game allow you to possess anybody, or is this the way it's going to be?
No, certainly not. I mean, there are rules in everything, and if you know a little bit about the auras, we all have different auras of different colors, and these different auras show who you are, in what physical shape you are, in what mental state you are, and it changes the color of your aura. And we just thought that it would be interesting to see different people with different colors allowing you to do different things. Well, the philosophy behind Beyond regarding the narrative is pretty much the same than on Heavy Rain. I mean, you have your actions have consequences. Sometimes they are just local, they are just going to change a little bit the scene. Sometimes they are going to change significantly the scene. And sometimes they are going to have an impact on the overall story arc. So it really depends on how you play and what you want to do. But there are many different paths leading to different stories, leading to different endings. What's always difficult to explain with what we do is when we show one scene, it's just one scene, it's just one moment. It's not like you're going to get 20 levels of the same thing and she's on the run all the way. I mean, each scene is different. So it's just in this scene where she's on the run, it's a moment in her life, but of course it's not the full story. We thought that we needed a very talented actress really to be Jodie, especially as we needed someone capable of embodying Jodie's character from the age of 14 to the age of 23, 24. So It's also a very emotional role. Through 15 years, she will go through very happy moments or very sad moments, very difficult moments. And we really needed an actress capable of acting and giving this incredible performance. And this is exactly what we got with Ellen. She's been absolutely amazing on stage.
I brought you that cup of coffee.
Actually, we didn't upgrade the engine. We did a new engine from scratch. So we wanted to improve, as I said, in many areas of the game, including visuals and technology. So we wanted a different approach to lighting. We wanted to improve the rendering in general. We have developed something we call physically based shaders, which is a technology that calculates in real time how different materials reflect differently light. We also worked on the depth of field to improve it. We worked on this thing we call bokeh, which is how lights react to depth of field. It becomes very technical, but when you look at it, it's just about how light reacts in general and how realistic it becomes. And we're really glad with the result. I think that visually we made a big step forward compared to Heavy Rain. So hopefully it's going to be apparent to all gamers.
Hold on, well, what's going on?
Girl you brought in earlier. Where is she?
There are many games that we love and that we wish we had made, but the last of them is probably Journey from that game company. I'm a big fan of what this studio is doing. I think they're very talented, very creative, very innovative, and I wish there were more games like this out there.
Do you ever see yourself doing smaller games like Journey, where you can have a really creative idea and maybe create a smaller game based around it?
I think I don't have enough talent to make shorter games, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'd love to. I think this is a very interesting approach. You can test more ideas faster. Where here I need to have one idea and then it takes me 3 years to get it to the market, and it's a long time and it's exhausting and it's a lot of effort and work. And I wish I could just do games in 6 months and give them to gamers and see what they think and move to another idea. Maybe one day.
Tell them to leave me the fuck alone, because next time, I'll kill everyone.
Beyond is coming exclusively on PlayStation 3 next year.
I know. They're coming.